Primary Colours is a pretty great film. I don't think this ever would have come on my radar were it not for the fact that Emma Thompson's in it. Would I have liked it as much as I did if Emma Thompson wasn't in it? Probably. I think I probably would have done, but certainly that is a pull factor for me. There were times in the film where it went a little bit slow and dragged a little bit, so it's not perfect. It was released in 1998, directed by Nichols. Screenplay is by Elaine May, based on the novel by Klein, which was published anonymously. Stars Emma Thompson, of course, and John Travolta. And the description from IMDb is one sentence, sums it up very well, and this says, a man joins the political campaign of a smooth operator candidate for president of the US. Jack Stanton is running for president. He's played by John Travolta, and I think Travolta looks the part, he sounds the part. I was going to say he feels the part, I don't know what I mean by that. But it's told through the perspective of Henry, and we kind of get to watch this campaign trail unravel. And we're sitting waiting to find out who will win, and whether or not it's going to be a victory all round. And I guess this is a film you probably would get more out of if you are American. I'm not, I'm British. So there's certain terminology in here that I'm not 100% familiar with, because obviously the campaigns for president are very different to campaigns for prime minister. Basically, we don't have campaigns for prime minister. But it's interesting. It's an education. It's eye-opening. I don't know how 100% accurate it is, or what kind of portrayal of a candidacy, is that a word? Election is, but I think it's pretty engaging. And I think you really feel the heightenedness of the situation. You feel the intensity. You can kind of feel when people's adrenalines are running, and when people are kind of, burning the candle at both ends. You can feel their exhaustion. And it's really involved in that sense. I feel like mentally you're very much engaged in the film. It's quite long. It's over 2 hours. As I said, there is a point in the middle, give or take, where I just felt like it wasn't maybe going anywhere. I guess that's it. It wasn't really going anywhere for any real length of time. And that didn't last for too long, and it picked up the pace again. I didn't really have any predictions when I was watching it as to where I thought it was going or who I thought would win. None of that really moved me. I wasn't really that bothered. But it was interesting to see how the narrative developed and where it eventually did take us. I don't think the ending was unbelievable. I don't think the narrative was forced. It felt pretty believable throughout, and that's something that I obviously kind of could get on board with. Really happy with how that turned out. Not the most perfect film, as I said, the pacing's maybe a little bit off at some point, but we have some good camera work, we have a great cast, very well acted, very emotive, inspiring, motivating, a little bit funny at times, often very dramatic. I love Emma Thompson. It's got a soundtrack from George M. Cohan, not all of it, but I love Cohan. It's got You're a Grand Old Flag, which is one of my favourite Cohan songs. So it's got a pretty great soundtrack to it. It's uplifting, it's inspiring, it's worth a watch. It's a long watch, you have to be invested in this. But I'd say it's worth it, as long as you're in the right frame of mind for this film, because it is intense, it is a journey. I think you'll enjoy Primary Colours.